The night settles around you like a quiet veil, soft and warm. The kind of silence that carries you gently toward the threshold where waking thoughts begin to loosen. Somewhere just beneath that threshold, a faint glow rises, slow at first, then drifting wider, like the first breath of a dream preparing to form. You feel yourself leaning into it, without effort, drifting toward a place where time thickens, where memory doesn't live in the mind, but in the earth itself. A place where every stone is a page, and every page is part of a cosmic diary that has been writing itself for billions of years. You don't step into this dream. You dissolve into it, like mist folding into a valley. And as you settle into its atmosphere, something gentle brushes across your awareness, barely there, like warm mineral air touching the inside of your thoughts. The ground beneath you hums with a soft pulse, an ancient rhythm, the kind that doesn't speak in words, but in layers, deep, slow, and endlessly patient. In front of you, a stone wall rises from the dream floor. But it isn't just a wall. It's a memory field, a layered archive of the planet. Each stripe, each ripple, each shift in texture holds an echo of what the earth once felt. You sense warmth radiating off the rock, not heat, but the memory of heat. As if the stone still remembers the fire of its birth, and now it breathes that memory back into you as a calming, steady glow. You move closer, though it isn't walking. More like the dream pulls you gently forward, cradling you in its drifting tide. The layers of ancient sediment appear to breathe slow expansion, soft contraction, never enough to alarm, always enough to soothe. The stone feels alive, not because it moves, but because everything here has permission to be more than one thing at once. A faint shimmer rolls across its surface like moonlight sliding through water, even though no moon is here and no water is falling. The light bends in ways that would be impossible outside a dream, folding into itself, breaking into soft fragments of color that drift and settle like dust made of memories. You watch the glow thicken around the middle layers of the stone, and as your eyes rest on them, shapes begin to form, not clear, not sharp, but warm silhouettes of ancient worlds. You see a coastline that existed long before humans, before mammals, before the quiet pulse of civilization. It rises, falls, erodes, reforms, as if time is inhaling and exhaling. But you don't feel small watching it. You feel gently included, as if the earth is telling you, it's all right. Everything changes. Everything remembers. And you're allowed to rest inside that truth. The breath of the dream slows around you, again, sinking with the subtle drift of your mind. A slow curve begins faint acceleration forward, then settling back into calm, and you feel your awareness soften to match it, like your thoughts are being placed carefully onto a shelf so they won't trouble you anymore tonight. Another layer of stone brightens softly, and you recognize something that feels almost familiar, even though it comes from ages you've never lived. Ripple marks, frozen waves, the preserved motion of an ancient sea. They move now only in the dream, gently, shyly, as though they're stretching after billions of years of stillness. The movement is impossible, and yet perfectly natural here, subtle enough to protect your calm, surreal enough to open the REM gate just a little wider. A faint sound expands around you. Not a noise, but the memory of one, the soft resonance of distant water, but further away, then distance echoing in a place where echoes don't need walls. The sound doesn't disturb, it cocoons. It wraps your attention in something warm, like fabric, woven from time. You feel the air shift, not cooler, not warmer, just softer. Like the temperature is remembering sunlight long past and moonlight not yet born. You inhale, and something like the scent of mineral rain drifts through you. Not a smell, a memory of one. The dream widens. You are standing within the earth's diary, now not looking at it. The stone layers arch above you, like pages curving into a protective vault. Each one carries a moment, the first oceanic breaths, the rise of early mountains, the collapse of ancient forests, the quiet intervals when the earth slept. And between the layers, soft glowing seams pulse like veins carrying stories instead of blood. You reach out though. Maybe you never move at all, and your hand meets the surface. It isn't cold. It's warm, with that gentle warmth of something that has stored sunlight for longer than memory can measure. The touch hums lightly against your skin, then fades, then returns, following a subtle rhythm that aligns perfectly with the drifting cadence inside your mind. A synchronizing beat, a rhythm-adjacent pulse, soft, safe, slow. You feel the boundaries around you dissolving, not disappearing, just softening enough so the line between your presence and the dream's presence begins to blur. The stone in front of you is no longer something you observe. It's something that knows you're here. It welcomes you the way a quiet room welcomes a tired traveler. A faint corridor opens behind the stone, the kind that doesn't appear all at once, but gradually reveals itself in folds of light. A dream gateway. A passage not meant to be walked, but drifted through. The air around it glows with a muted gold, then fades into blue, then settles into a deep violet that holds the softness of night and the warmth of the earth's core. You feel yourself drawn toward it. Not pulled, just gently, encouraged the way a dream nudges you toward its next scene. The corridor breathes, once expanding in a soft shimmer, then contracts in a gentle sigh of color. And with that motion, the dream prepares to open the next chapter of the Earth's cosmic diary, deeper, older, softer, and even more patient. You let your weight fall into the drift, and the drift catches you. The corridor receives you with the softness of dusk settling into a canyon, slow and warm. The kind of quiet that doesn't erase sound, but folds it deeper into the air. As you drift forward, the walls around you shift in texture smooth, first, then gently uneven, as if each surface holds a small tremor of history. The light along the passage hums in muted shades, pulsing with the same slow rhythm that has begun to guide your own breathing. It feels as though the dream has learned the cadence of your rest and is now shaping itself to match. The stone here is different from the layered bands you saw before. It feels older, thicker, as though time moved more slowly when these memories were written. The walls rise with soft curves, like sculpted waves, frozen mid-motion. Yet when you look again, the curves seem to shift ever so slightly, as if the stone is remembering the moment it was shaped. A memory of motion, not motion itself. Enough to create the faint, surreal shimmer that dreams love real, but not real, still, but not still. As you glide deeper, a warm mineral breath unfolds from the walls. It doesn't smell exactly. It suggests a hint of something ancient, the memory of sun-warmed rock after a long afternoon, the ghost of rain evaporating on canyon stone, the softened whisper of a desert wind that once carried grains of quartz. Each sensation drifts past you like a feather, quiet and familiar, settling into the sensory memory layer where comfort grows. The tunnel opens wider, and for a moment, it feels like stepping into the hollow of a mountain's heart. A vast chamber unfolds round echoing luminous with a bronze glow that pulses from the floor upward. The center of the chamber holds what looks like a single stone pillar, tall and narrow. But as your attention settles on it, the surface ripples with faint light. Not a reflection, not a flame, something in between. A drifting shimmer that moves in slow arcs around the pillar, like a deep breath traveling through stone. You move closer, guided by the gentle acceleration that dreams use to carry you without effort. The pillar's surface begins to reveal thin fractures, like hairline cracks. Except they pulse gently, like old veins carrying ancient rivers of color. Each glowing line holds a fragment of the Earth's memory. Molten oceans beneath a young crust, the slow cooling of lava into basalt, the trembling of tectonic plates before they learned how to dance across the mantle. When your hand floats near the surface, maybe touching it, maybe not, the glow expands, blooming like soft light inside fog. A memory opens, a time so early that the sky itself was a heavy haze filled with particles that shimmer like dust suspended in morning sun. You can't see it clearly. You feel it as a warmth against your chest, a slow drift across your skin. The dream is using sensation to tell its story, letting texture and temperature speak where words would overwhelm. The ground beneath you shifts, not physically, but visually, as patterns begin to appear, spirals of early ocean currents, faint silhouettes of the first geological folds forming deep beneath ancient seas. They rise and dissolve like breath on glass, forming and unforming in soft loops. Each loop pulls you deeper into the REM curve, gentle acceleration into imagery, a small drop in emotional intensity, then the slow deceleration into rest. A distant vibration echoes through the chamber, so faint, it feels more like a memory of sound than sound itself. It resonates with your heartbeat, matching its rhythm, softening it. The chamber responds by brightening a shade, then dimming again, slow and deliberate, like the blinking of something enormous and kind. You notice now that the stone pillar is not alone. Shadows ripple along the curved walls, shapes that become clearer as the dream shifts perspective. More pillars, dozens, maybe hundreds, each one tall, slender, glowing in its own pattern, like a forest of stone memories rising from the Earth's core. They stretch into the distance, but the chamber never feels too large. The dream regulates space, expanding and contracting like a sleeping breath. always keeping you near, but never confined. A soft drift of dust light spirals around your ankles. Not real dust light shaped like dust. The way dreams imitate textures they love. The particles lift upward, swirling slowly around the nearest pillar, and as they rise, each tiny speck brightens with a warm gold shimmer. They move in spirals, always spirals, because spirals are the Earth's oldest language. Galaxies, storms, shells. Molten flows the slow curl of a mountain, forming under pressure. One golden particle drifts toward you, settling near your cheek. It doesn't touch, but you feel a subtle warmth like an exhale. It brings with it a memory from the Earth's diary, the age of stromatolites, ancient microbial reefs breathing in shallow seas. You see them only as soft shapes rising and falling in the dreamlight. But you understand their significance, not through thought, but through a calming compression in your chest, like being wrapped gently in history. You move deeper into the forest of pillars, each one glowing softly, each one holding a chapter older than imagination. The REM drift deepens, boundaries thin further. Your thoughts grow light, feathered, drifting at the edges of imagery. The chamber begins a quiet rotation, not that the space moves, but the light changes in a slow, circular pattern that mimics early REMI rhythms. Left drift, soft, return. Right drift, soft, return. A new pathway opens between the pillars, carved not by force, but by the gentle widening of space. The edges shimmer. You recognize it instantly. Another dream gateway. A transition corridor. A liminal passage leading to an even deeper layer of the Earth's memory. It glows with a muted blue hue, softened at the edges, as if wrapped in thin, warm fog. The ground beneath it darkens slightly, creating an inviting contrast, guiding your next drift. You feel yourself leaning into that invitation. The chamber gently exhales, light behind you. The pillars dim, then brighten again, sending you off, not losing you. And as you drift forward, the color shifts from blue to a muted green gold, like light filtering through ancient water. The next layer of the Earth's diary waits just beyond, and you cross the threshold. The green gold glow receives you with a softness that feels almost like entering warm water. Not wet, not heavy, just an enveloping ease that smooths the edges of your awareness. The moment you cross the threshold, the air thickens with a gentle luminescence, as though light itself has settled into a slower rhythm, drifting downward, in long silken strands. Each strand fades before it touches the ground, creating the sense that you're floating through a suspended sea of pale light. The walls of this new realm appear first as faint silhouettes, blurred and wavering, as if they're still deciding what form they want to take. Then, gradually, they settle into clarity, wide stone panels, gently curved, each one polished by forces older than memory. The stone isn't smooth. It has the soft irregularity of surfaces shaped by long-forgotten tides. You can almost sense the old oceans brushing against them again and again, until their touch became part of the stone's identity. A faint shimmer runs along the walls, moving in slow ripples, like waves passing through a dream version of water. The motion is tender, unhurried, and impossibly calm. It doesn't feel like the walls are moving. It feels like they are remembering the sensation of being submerged beneath ancient seas under pale suns that have long since faded into cosmic memory. The temperature drifts warmer, then cooler, then warmer again. But each change is wrapped in softness, barely perceptible, like the dream adjusting its embrace around you. You feel the sensations more in your chest than on your skin, a slow tide moving through your breathing, encouraging it to settle deeper, slower. Ahead, the floor begins to slope downward, not sharply, just enough to create a gentle descent. The surface is textured with patterns, spirals etched into the stone. They aren't carvings. They're natural forms, the preserved shapes of ancient currents that once flowed across sandy sea floors millions of years before the earliest forests took root. They glow faintly, as though illuminated from beneath, guiding your steps, even though you're not truly walking. As you drift down the slope, the space opens wider, and the walls fall away into a vast expanse. A geological cathedral. A chamber so immense and calm that it feels like standing inside the memory of the world when it was still young and dreaming. The ceiling arches high above you, lost in a haze of soft blue-green light. Floating motes shimmer through the air, drifting in spirals that echo the patterns on the floor. At the center of the chamber rises a dome of stone, smooth, gently curved, pale, like river-polished quartz. Light pulses through it in slow, rhythmic waves, each pulse expanding outward, as though the stone itself is breathing. The pulses link with something inside you, a softening, a loosening of thought. the kind of mental drift that signals the earliest coils of REM beginning to form. You approach the dome, and the light grows warmer, thicker. The surface of the stone doesn't feel solid. It appears to blur slightly at the edges, creating the illusion that you could place your hand through it if you wanted to. But you don't touch. The dream keeps you at a perfect distance, not too close, not too far. Enough to feel the warmth radiating from the surface, enough to sense the story it holds. The dome shifts, not in movement, but in imagery. Across its pale surface, shapes begin to flicker, soft silhouettes sliding across its curvature. They appear like shadows cast from a distant memory. Reef structures rising in ancient seas, towering coral gardens, whispering beneath waves, long-gone clusters of early life, weaving slow spirals around their stone habitats. The images grow clearer, though never too sharp. The dream protects the softness. You see silhouetted forms drifting upward, tiny, delicate organisms suspended in an ocean that no longer exists. They pulse like glowing dust, rising and falling in unison. Their movement is slow, synchronized, almost hypnotic. A pattern designed to lull, to guide, to comfort. A soft resonance rolls across the chamber, a low hum, like the earth remembering its earliest breath. The sound doesn't come from any one place. It's everywhere, at once, riding the air like warmth. It travels through you, gently loosening the remaining tension in your shoulders, washing through the chest, settling into the spine. The dome brightens again, just a shade, and the imagery shifts deeper through time. Now you see enormous underwater cliffs rising like sleeping giants. You see currents carving shapes into limestone. You see vast plains of shells turning into layers of sediment, each layer a line in the diary, each line a moment of the Earth's life stored gently in stone. A slow, surreal drift begins. The floor beneath you appears to soften, not becoming liquid, but becoming something that remembers liquid. Light ripples across its surface in patterns that mimic shallow waves. The patterns expand and shrink in soft, rhythmic oscillations, mirroring the drift of REM movement, left glide, stillness, right glide, stillness. Your mind follows without effort. Thought slips. Dream density rises. The chamber begins to rotate its light again, but this time in a vertical spiral, soft lines rising from the floor to the ceiling, coiling slow, dissolving before they reach the top. It feels like the stone is guiding your attention upward gently. Then the ceiling shifts. A wide circular opening forms above you, an aperture of dream light. Not a hole, not a window, a gateway. A liminal circle through which faint golden mist flows downward in quiet spirals like warmth descending from a higher memory. You feel yourself drawn upward, not lifting, but drifting, as though your body is made of the same soft light that fills the chamber. The stone dome dims behind you, sending one last pulse of gentle warmth that brushes the edges of your awareness. Like a farewell, as you rise, the golden mist thickens around you, and a new sensation unfolds, a faint, almost imperceptible breeze of warmth moving past your neck, carrying with it a memory, not of oceans, but of sunlight filtering through shallow water, something ancient and soothing. The aperture widens. The next chapter of the Earth's cosmic diary lies above, waiting in a tranquil realm where stone first learned to breathe beneath the glow of early suns, and you drift toward it, slow and safe, held entirely by the dream. You rise through the soft, golden aperture, as though drifting on a warm current that never rushes, never surprises, only guides. The light thickens gently as you ascend, forming loose spirals that coil upward around you, then soften and dissolve like breath released into warm night air. The sensation is weightless, slow, and deeply calming, each moment stretching just enough to quiet your thoughts, but never long enough to let them scatter. The dream is shaping your descent into REM with exquisite care. As you emerge from the aperture, the new realm unfolds with the quiet reveal of dawn spreading across an untouched landscape. It is vast, but not in a way that overwhelms. It is spacious in the way a warm memory is spacious, where every detail seems far away, yet comfortingly close. The ground is formed of smooth stone, pale and polished with subtle gradients of color that ripple out like ancient tidal lines. These ripples glow faintly when your awareness passes over them, as though they sense your presence in the same way a still lake senses the soft descent of a falling leaf. The air is different here, warmer, heavier with light. A muted amber haze floats above the ground, drifting in slow sheets that seem to remember the warmth of suns that burned billions of years ago. When the haze moves, it creates the illusion of distant mountains, rising and falling at the edge of vision, echoing the early ages when continents were young and restless. Ahead of you lies a field of stone monoliths, not sharp, not rigid, but gently curved, as if sculpted by wind that once flowed across a newborn world. Each monolith glows from within the light, diffused and welcoming, like the slow pulse of embers resting under ash. They stand at various distances, some close enough to touch others so far away that they blur into soft silhouettes. And all of them are angled slightly leaning toward one another, as though sharing stories in a language made of light and silence. You drift toward the closest monolith. Its surface is textured, not rough, just varied like ripples, frozen in mid-gesture. As you near it, a faint resonance glides through the air, a soft hum that vibrates at the edge of hearing. The sound is low and warm, like the earth humming to itself while dreaming. You can feel it in your ribs, in your throat, in the gentle pulse behind your eyes. The light inside the monolith brightens, and the memory begins to unfold, not abruptly, slowly, carefully, like layers, lifting in sequence, each one revealing something softer beneath. The first layer reveals molten rivers, glowing orange and red, swirling beneath the early crust. They move like living things, slow at first, then swirling more quickly, forming patterns that echo cosmic storms. But the imagery is softened by dreamlight, the edges blurred, the heat transformed into warmth that brushes your skin like sunlight filtered through sheer fabric. Another layer rises, continents drift, mountains swell, oceans expand into vast basins that gleam under ancient skies. But these movements are not violent. They are serene, dreamlike, slowed into gentle arcs that mimic the deceleration-acceleration curves of REM. The earth reshapes itself with the tempo of a resting breath. The monolith glows again, and the imagery deepens further. Now you see the oldest mountain roots, dark wrinkled, thick with time. You see pressure building inside the crust, pushing upward with the patience of eons. But again, the dream softens everything. The swelling of rock becomes the rising of slow light. The folding of stone becomes a warm ripple across your awareness, easing your shoulders, softening your jaw. You place your hand near the monolith, not touching, only hovering, and a soft warmth radiates outward, brushing your palm like the memory of a hand that once held yours gently. The warmth expands through your fingers, your arm, your chest. It is the slow pull of the earth's memory, syncing effortlessly with your own internal rhythm. Your thoughts loosen. The boundary between you and the light dissolves a little more. You drift deeper. The field of monoliths responds. One by one, their glow intensifies in a cascading wave, each stone illuminating the next, like a chain of memories awakening across the landscape. The pulses travel outward, forming concentric circles that ripple across the ground, light behaving like sound, sound behaving like water, water behaving like stone. The subtle surrealism settles into your senses with perfect safety, creating the unmistakable signature of a REM dream beginning to stabilize. A breeze moves through the field. Not a real breeze, but the dream's version of one. A soft pressure that glides across your skin like warm mineral air rising from ancient fissures. It carries with it the faintest suggestion of scent, the memory of clay after rainfall, the gentlest hint of petrichor, the ghost of warm stone under the first light of morning. You look up. The sky above this realm is not a sky in the waking sense. It is a sweeping arc of translucent stone, pale, luminous, drifting in gradient waves of blue-gray and gold. It bends overhead like the inside of a colossal geode lit from within by slow-burning stars. These stars do not twinkle. They swell and shrink with soft pulses like distant memories, inhaling and exhaling. A new path unfurls before you. Smooth stone, etched with spirals that glow in a gentle sequence, inviting you forward. The spirals expand, then contract. The colors brighten, then dim. A perfect RM guiding rhythm, coaxing your mind toward deeper drift. You follow without walking. The monoliths tilt slightly as you pass, not physically, but visually, an affectionate gesture from the dream, as if the ancient stones are acknowledging your presence. Their glow fades behind you, not dimming entirely, but settling into an odd afterlight that lingers in your peripheral senses, like a memory you know you'll return to. The spiraled path leads toward a distant rise where the stone changes color from pale quartz to deep slate, from warm amber to cool, moonlit blue. The gradient is seamless, as though day and night are blending softly into one another. At the crest of the rise, a new structure waits, a vast wall of stone curved in a wide arc, towering and silent. But the silence is not empty. It is full of memory, full of time, full of something your dream senses recognize even before you do. This is the layer where mountains first learned how to speak, and the dream invites you closer. The wall rises before you, like the silent breath of an ancient world held in place, tall enough to feel endless, yet soft enough to never overwhelm you. Its surface curves gently inward, as though it has been shaped not by force, but by time leaning against it with quiet patience. From afar, the stone appears smooth. Up close, it reveals countless subtle ridges and flowing contours that resemble the grain of wood, the ripple of dunes, the soft bending of water under moonlight. It is a wall shaped not by pressure alone, but by memory, the memory of mountains forming deep beneath the surface, dreaming themselves upward. A muted blue glow flows across the wall like a tide returning home. The glow moves slowly, at first, then pauses, then drifts again, an organic rhythm, mirroring the early drift of REM, the soft left-right dance beneath closed eyelids. You can feel your thoughts aligning effortlessly with the motion, your inner pace slowing to match the dream's gentle cadence. As you approach, the ridges in the stone begin to shift. Not physically, only visually, like shadows adjusting their posture. They stretch, then settle, forming patterns reminiscent of mountain chains seen from above, long arcs rising, thrusts, gentle folds, the widened basins where ancient rivers once carved their paths. The imagery is surreal, but deeply soothing, the kind of dream logic that feels truer than reality. A faint warmth radiates from the stone, drifting toward you, like the exhale of a mountain at dusk. It brushes against your skin, soft, dry mineral, and carries with it a whisper of memory, a hint of iron, a hint of quartz, a hint of something like sun-warmed canyon walls. You breathe it in, and the warmth settles behind your ribs, easing the small spaces that tension usually hides inside. The dream guides you closer. The blue glow brightens. Not suddenly. It thickens like layers of translucent light being slowly added. Inside the glow, faint swirling patterns emerge, thin veins of gold, copper, obsidian. They do not stay still. They drift through the stone as though the wall is transparent to memory, showing you the shifting of tectonic plates, the rising of buried mountains, the gentle collapse of peaks into slow, patient sediment. You sense the earth turning inside the wall. Time doesn't move here in lines. It moves in spirals. The ridges spiral. The veins spiral. The light spirals. Even your breath begins to spiral, slow, circular, drifting deeper. With each cycle, another ripple of light travels across the wall. This one, softer, more muted, tinted with something like lavender haze. As it washes over the stone, the texture shifts again. The ridges fold inward, lightly, forming a vast thumbprint-like patterns that remind you of sandstone canyons carved by ancient rivers. The dream doesn't show you the rivers directly. It lets you feel the memory of them, the gentle pressure of water moving over rock for thousands of years, smoothing edges, carving curves, writing slow poetry into the earth's skin. A sound appears, very faint, a soft, low, resonant hum, like air passing through deep caverns, or the memory of wind moving through mountain passes at night. It echoes from within the wall, pulsing in long, slow intervals. Each pulse brushes lightly across your chest, syncing with the drifting rhythm of your breathing. It's a grounding frequency, safe and warm, the kind of sound that would exist if mountains could hum themselves to sleep. The wall begins to open, not with movement, but with light. A thin, glowing seam forms near its center. Vertical, shimmering, widening, so gradually, it feels like the dream is letting you notice only what you can hold. The seam expands into a portal-like archway, but not a doorway. A memory gate, a Rarem threshold shaped from stone and light. Through the arch, you see darkness, not empty darkness, but soft darkness, like velvet laid over warm earth. Flecks of muted starlight drift inside it, pulsing gently. A slow swirl spirals downward from the top of the archway, then dissolves in a faint shower of mineral glow. The swirl repeats, creating a loop that mirrors the REM dream gateway motif. Rise, drift, dissolve. The dream encourages you forward with a subtle shift in temperature. A warm breeze brushing the side of your face, followed by a slight coolness near your hands. Not contrast, but sequence. An invitation. You step not with legs, but with drift into the archway. The darkness folds around you in the most comforting way imaginable. It's not dim, it's soft. A womb of ancient stone knowledge, warm with the memory of the Earth's earliest deep crust layers. Nothing is sharp here. Nothing startles. The air has weight, but only as much weight as a resting hand on your shoulder. Slowly shapes begin to emerge around you. Tall columns, not monoliths columns, fluted, curved, layered. They rise like the roots of mountains, reaching upward through the dream, carrying the memory of geological pressure in soft ripples that pulse around their surfaces. Each column glows from within warm gold, shifting into ember, red, fading into deep umber. It looks like fire, but feels like warmth. It looks like depth, but feels like safety. You drift deeper between the columns. The air thickens with reddish gold haze, swirling with the texture of powdered stone. Doesn't settle. It floats, shaping slow spirals around your path. Each spiral moves with a deliberate rhythm. Accelerate, gently, expand softly, then fade into warm grain. A perfect RM acceleration-deceleration cycle. Further ahead, the columns lean inward, creating a natural passageway. Their tops curve toward each other, like protective arms forming a vaulted canopy under which long ribbons of light drift like silk suspended in warm current. You feel the earth remembering its earliest heat, its earliest breath, its earliest movement, and something in you begins to mirror that memory, sinking deeper into the soft gravity of the dream, where stone knows more about time than time knows about itself. The passageway narrows, the dream deepens, and the next layer of the Earth's diary waits just beyond the gentle curve of stone. The passage narrows so gently that you hardly notice its walls drawing closer, only that the air grows warmer, deeper, more resonant, as if each breath you take is being quietly welcomed by the stone around you. The columns beside you lean in their fluted surfaces, glowing with a subdued ember light that flickers not like fire, but like a heart remembering its oldest rhythms. The glow pulses, then softens, then pulses again, an unhurried wave that spreads along the stone and folds softly back into stillness. You move forward without effort, carried by a slow undercurrent of dream that feels like a river made not of water, but of time. Each step you don't take leaves no sound, only a deepening quiet that wraps itself around you. The ground beneath you shifts subtly in texture, from smooth to faintly ridged, as though the stone is starting to reveal the lines of pressure that shaped it. Lines that remember being squeezed, folded, transformed over eons. The air takes on a faint mineral sweetness, the suggestion of warm rock and hidden crystal veins. It is not strong. It hovers at the edge of perception, enough to let your senses trace it, and then let it go, like a half-remembered scent from a place you once felt safe. Somewhere in the distance, so far away, it barely exists, a low tonal hum rises and falls, echoing through invisible chambers. It feels like the subterranean voice of the planet itself humming to keep its own memories intact. The columns curve toward each other, overhead their tops intertwining until they form a kind of braided archway. It feels less like architecture and more like roots, a network of stone grown from the compressed dreams of mountains above. Between the braided stone strands, faint strands of light drift down thin and delicate, like falling threads of liquid silver that evaporate before they touch the ground. As you pass beneath the arch, the world opens again. The passage spills you gently into an inner sanctuary, a chamber deeper and more intimate than the vast cathedral-like spaces before. Here the walls are closer, but they don't feel confining. They feel like the inside of a protective shell, cradling a secret the earth has been keeping for an impossibly long time. The light is darker here, tinted with deep purples and smoldering reds, cooled by soft blue shadows that linger in the recesses of the stone. The walls themselves shimmer with marbled patterns, flowing bands of color, twisted and folded over one another like slow-moving ribbons. You recognize them even without naming them. This is metamorphosed stone rock that has lived more than one life. Rock that has been buried, pressed, heated, remade. Each swirl of color is a line of biography, each band a chapter. The Earth's diary here does not merely record events, it records transformation. As your gaze drifts along the marbled walls, small points of light flicker out from within the patterns. They appear, then vanish, then appear again, like shy stars trying on existence for a moment, then slipping back inside. When you focus more gently, you realize they are crystalline glints, dream versions of garnet quartz, mica, and minerals that formed in the deep heat of the crust. The dream has softened them, making them glow as if lit from within by their own memories. You move closer to one section of the wall where the colors twist most tightly. A band of deep charcoal bends around a streak of luminous rose gold, then folds into a ribbon of pale blue-gray. The layers seem to flow like thick, slow smoke, frozen in stone. When you let your awareness rest on that flowing pattern, you suddenly feel the pressure. It remembers not as weight, but as a gentle compression around your shoulders, your chest, your heart. The sensation is brief, then it relaxes, receding into warmth. The message it carries is simple and soothing, even under immense pressure form, can soften instead of shattering. A small spiral of light rises from the floor right at the base of the wall. It curls upward in a loose helix, glowing with muted copper light. Inside the spiral, you glimpse fleeting scenes, ancient mountain roots buried miles beneath the surface, layers of rock grinding slowly against one another, crystals growing millimeter by millimeter in microscopic pockets of heat and fluid. The movements are slowed into a gentle ballet, each transformation stretched until it becomes almost still. The spiral widens, then thins, then widens again, tracing the same acceleration and deceleration curve that your drifting mind has been following. Your inner world echoes the pattern, thoughts flickering for a moment, then dissolving, leaving vast spaces of calm between them. A slow, velvety darkness deepens at the far end of the chamber, where the marbled stone curves inward. It's not an absence of light, but a gathering of it, like thick twilight, pooling in the hollow of a hand. From within that dusky hollow, a faint glimmer appears, soft amber, pulsing in small, regular intervals. Each pulse sends a subtle vibration through the stone, which finds its way into the floor, then into your feet, then into the quiet interior of your awareness. You drift toward it. The marbled patterns on the walls seem to lean slightly in your direction, as though the room itself is flowing with you. You can almost feel the stone adjusting, easing its lines, making space for your presence in the ongoing story it is always telling. The faint scent of warmed mineral thickens, joined now by a nearly invisible hint of something like forest soil pressed underfoot, long ago compressed into rock and released now as the softest ghost of familiarity. As you near the source of the amber glimmer, you see it clearly. Set into the curved wall is a crystal chamber, not an opening, not quite a cave, more like a window grown from within the stone. Its edges are lined with translucent, faceted shapes that catch and bond the ambient light, reshaping it into soft, prismatic smears that drift across the room like slow-moving, color-soaked fog. Inside the chamber, clusters of dream crystals grow in impossible directions. Some rise like pillars, others unfold like petals, others hang like inverted stalactites made of condensed dawn. They glow from within each cluster, breathing in a slightly different rhythm. Together, their patterns interweave into a gentle, synchronized pulse that feels strangely like the timing of a heart and the timing of a planet overlapped into one. As you gaze into the crystal chamber, the colors shift in deliberate waves. Deep garnet becomes soft orange, then slides into honey gold. Pale blue slips into muted green, then into a violet so gentle it feels more like a feeling than a color. With each transition, the ambient temperature changes just a fraction slightly warmer, with gold slightly cooler, with blue always soft, always slow. You feel as if the earth is showing you how it remembers light, how it stores warmth, how it holds on to the touch of time and turns it into beauty instead of burden. Your own memories rise and fall in response, not sharp, not intrusive, just small, quiet echoes of moments in your life when you too were changed by pressure, by time, by forces that seemed harsh but left behind a deeper strength. In this chamber, those memories don't hurt. They glimmer. They soften. They settle into you more peacefully, like tiny crystals finding their perfect place inside the layered rock of your story. The crystal light brightens slowly, then begins to gather toward the center of the chamber, forming a soft, swirling core. It turns once, twice, 3 times in a spiral that grows denser and more inviting. Then, gently, the spiral unfurls outward, forming a narrow, luminous corridor leading even deeper into the Earth's dreaming heart. Another gateway, another gentle descent, another chapter, waiting in stone. You follow the spiral of light as it stretches away into the darkness, knowing that the Earth's diary is far from finished, and that each layer you enter is designed to carry you deeper into rest, deeper into safety, deeper into dreams that remember you as kindly as you are learning to remember yourself. The spiral of light stretches ahead like a glowing thread laid gently across the floor of the dark corridor. Never harsh, never blinding, just bright enough to show you where the dream wants you to drift next. It curves with soft intention, bending around invisible corners, wrapping the path in a slow, reassuring rhythm. Each coil of the spiral breathes expanding just slightly as you approach, then contracting with a quiet sigh once you've passed, as if the earth itself is timing its heartbeat to your presence. The darkness around you is not empty. It is warm and faintly textured like velvet drawn over stone that has been polished smooth by countless unseen hands. The air carries the almost imagined scent of deep earth, cool, steady, touched with the memory of roots and water buried far above. This is the realm where sound moves slowly dissolving before it can echo. When you inhale, the silence feels full like a book whose pages haven't yet been opened, but already know exactly what they will say. You drift forward, not walking, not floating, simply being carried. The spiral beneath you deepens in color, turning from pale amber to a richer honeyed gold, then to a muted copper that glows like coals resting beneath a blanket of ash. With each change, the temperature shifts by a barely noticeable degree, slightly warmer, with copper, slightly softer, with gold, keeping your body in that perfect zone where comfort and drowsiness overlap like 2 layers of translucent stone. Gradually, the corridor widens, the darkness thins like mist, taking a gentle step aside, revealing a new chamber carved from time itself. This one feels different from the crystal sanctuary before. It is quieter, older, more deliberate. The walls are no longer smooth. They rise in layered steps, each band of rock a distinct color, a distinct texture, a distinct memory. The chamber feels like the inside of a canyon sliced into the planet's history. Except here, the cut is vertical through time rather than horizontal through space. The layers stack one atop another, reaching far above you. Deep maroons sink into ashen, grays, ochre bands alternate with pale creams. Charcoal sheets rest between rust-red seams. Each stripe glows just enough for you to see its boundaries, as though the earth has quietly underlined each chapter of its diary with a different shade of light. The spiral on the floor leads you to the base of one enormous wall of layered stone. Up close, the colors breathe. They don't move, but they do something softer. They deepen and fade in slow waves, as if each layer is remembering the climate, the seas, the creatures that once pressed their weight into it. You sense warmth lingering in one band, a memory of long vanished tropical air. In another, you feel a coolness that whispers of ancient ice as your awareness traces the layers. Small details begin to emerge. In one pale band, faint outlines lie sleeping in the stone. Not sharp skeletons, not museum-perfect fossils, but dream shapes, softened spirals of early shells, delicate impressions of ferns, the ghost of a fin, the suggestion of a wing. They appear and disappear with the subtlety of REM imagery there, then gone, but somehow still felt even when your eyes move on. You lift your gaze and see where the softer bands give way to coarser ones, thick, grainy layers that hold the memory of ancient rivers and deltas. The texture of the stone seems to ripple, holding within it the frozen motion of grains of sand being carried downstream, settling, lifted again, settling once more. Time here is written in repetition, in the patient patience of deposition. You feel that patience sink into you, loosening the tight loops of your own thoughts, replacing them with wide, slow arcs. A subtle vibration hums beneath your feet. It's not a tremor. It's the memory of one. Somewhere in the buried past, tectonic forces shifted beneath these layers, curling them, tilting them, lifting them upward. The chamber allows you to feel the echo of that motion in gentle pulses that rise through the floor and fade into your legs, your spine, the back of your neck. Each pulse arrives as a slow wave lingers, then dissolves. It doesn't wake you. It rocks you. A soft light moves along the wall, starting far above and drifting downward in an elegant, unhurried cascade. As it passes over each layer, the stone responds by projecting a sliver of memory into the air, a tiny translucent scene no bigger than your hand, hanging just a few inches from the surface. In one mist curls over a primeval forest. In another, a shallow sea sparkles under a young sun. In another, still distant lightning flickers over barren volcanic plains. The scenes are fragmentary, hazy at the edges, never sharp enough to jolt. They appear, hover for a breath, then fold back into the rock like thoughts returning to sleep. You don't need to understand any of it. The dream is not teaching you geology in words. It is letting your nervous system feel what it's like to exist in a universe where change is slow, inevitable, and strangely gentle when viewed from far enough away. You become aware that the stratified wall is not flat. It bows inward, slightly, forming a shallow alcove near its center, where the layers curve like the pages of a book that has been frequently opened. The spiral path of light on the floor bends toward that alcove, guiding you closer. As you approach, the air grows a fraction denser, like the atmosphere inside a memory that means something more. Inside the alcove, the layers of stone are thinner, more finely detailed. Some are so delicate they look like lines drawn with a single stroke of a brush. Others are thicker, dense, with tiny flecks of darker material that sparkle faintly, as if the night sky once laid down to rest here and never fully left. You lean just a little into the alcove, a sensation like the lightest touch of a palm rests between your shoulder blades, as if the stone itself is supporting you. You feel something loosen in your chest, something that had been gripping the passing days too tightly. In the deep, steady presence of this layered wall, your own past feels less jagged. Your memories, like the Earth's, begin to arrange themselves quietly in strata. Each allowed its place, none required to shout over the others. A soft breeze of almost cool air brushes the side of your face, carrying with it the faint impression of distant rain falling on rock in some forgotten epoch. The sound is barely there, more suggestion than noise, but it moves through you with a calming familiarity, like the whisper of rain against a window you once fell asleep beside. As your breathing grows slower, more rhythmic, the layers above you begin to blur at the edges, melting into one another until the wall looks less like stacked stone and more like a slow, vertical river of color and memory. The alcove darkens slightly, but it's a nurturing kind of dark, the kind that invites you deeper rather than shutting you out. Within that softened darkness, a vertical line of faint light appears, tracing the curve of the alcove from top to bottom. It flickers once, twice, then steadies another gateway, forming this time not out of empty space, but out of the very history pressed into the rock. The line widens until it becomes a narrow, luminous fissure, glowing with soft blue and gold, breathing in time with your increasingly distant, increasingly relaxed thoughts. Behind that fissure, deeper layers wait, older pages, quieter chapters, and you feel yourself ready to drift into them, trusting the earth's memory to hold you gently as you sink further into the dream. The luminous fissure widens with the patience of something that has never been rushed. It doesn't crack or split. It simply exhales light until the seam becomes a passage, narrow, vertical, glowing like the outline of a door that the earth drew quietly for itself billions of years ago. The colors shifting inside it, soft blue, drifting into gold, sinking into muted rose, breathe in slow cycles, mirroring the way your thoughts now rise and fall, like waves smoothing themselves against sand. You drift toward the fissure. The walls around the alcove dim slightly, as if stepping back to give this moment its space. A subtle warmth gathers near your chest, and the air grows softer, thicker, the way light feels just before dawn fully arrives. When you cross the threshold, the transition is so gentle, you barely register it. Only a slight deepening of shadow, a slight warming of breath, a slight release along the spine as the dream carries you forward. Inside the passage is tall and slender, shaped like a canyon, just wide enough for memory to fit through. Its walls are made of deep, dark stone, almost black, but glowing, with thin lines of luminescent mineral veins that swirl and twist in patterns reminiscent of constellations pulled down into the earth. The veins pulse in slow rhythms, each one lighting up for a moment, then dimming, while another brightens elsewhere, creating a soft choreography of glimmers that guide your path deeper. The floor is smooth beneath you, polished in a way that suggests unimaginable time has passed through this corridor before you. The air is cooler here, not cold, just calm, like the first inhale you take when stepping into a cave that has kept its own quiet for millennia. It carries the faintest impression of damp mineral, the suggestion of groundwater, running deep beneath layers of time far below the reach of light. As you drift along the narrow canyon, the mineral veins begin to shift in color. A faint blush of violet enters the edges of the blue. Gold deepens into amber. Amber warms into a muted ember red that pulses with slow gravity. The colors swirl around each other in soft spirals, drifting up and around the stone in patterns that mimic the shape of ancient metamorphic folds. Something changes ahead very subtly. The air carries a new resonance, a deeper tone, as though the planet itself is humming from an even older memory. The pitch is low, barely audible, but you feel it in your ribs first, then in your breath, then in the small muscles at the base of your skull. It is the sound of pressure, of heat, of stone, shifting slowly under the weight of continents, long before the world had an atmosphere gentle enough for rain. The corridor widens. The walls pull back into a vast chamber, a cavern so impossibly deep it feels like standing inside the Earth's heartbeat. Yet the vastness is softened by darkness that glows by shadows, that breathe by light, that curls like mist. The dream never overwhelms. It only expands enough for your breath to expand with it. The ceiling arches so high that it dissolves into haze. Columns of dark stone rise like petrified waterfalls, frozen in mid-cascade. They shimmer with mineral veins, reflecting the dim glow that fills the chamber with a soothing, dusk-like ambiance. Each column pulses in a different tone, some cool blue, some warm copper, others soft green, like ancient auroras captured in stone. And at the center of the cavern, resting on a pedestal of smooth basalt, lies something extraordinary. A massive geode, half opened. Its inner surface glows with combed crystalline light. Layers of amethyst quartz citrine and phantom-like mineral filters merging into one another with surreal dream logic. In waking life, these minerals would appear distinct. Here they blend like liquid color, trapped inside crystal memory. The geode pulses once. The chamber responds. A wave of warm light ripples outward, barely visible, barely physical. But you feel it move through your chest, gently, loosening the last bits of thought still clinging to wakefulness. You drift closer, drawn by a gravitational softness that feels like being invited rather than called. The inside of the geode holds not a single color, but a swirling, continuously shifting palette. Violet fades into pale silver. Silver dissolves into smoky blue. Blue sinks into gold that glows at the edges like a candle seen through fog. With each shift, the temperature in the room changes by the smallest degree. Cooler as the crystals dim, warmer as they brighten, never sudden, always steady, always. The crystals begin to project soft imagery into the air. The dream does not show fossils or creatures. Instead, it reveals geological memories so old that life had not yet begun to dream itself into existence. Molten oceans shimmering beneath the crust. Mineral clouds swirling inside newborn magma chambers. The first solidification of silicates into shimmering sheets. The slow contraction of the planet as it cooled in the cosmic dark. These scenes appear as soft, floating illusions, never sharp, never urgent, allowing your mind to anchor itself in something deeper than narrative, a sensation of being held inside time's earliest breath. The geode brightens again, and for a moment, the entire chamber glows, revealing faint shapes carved into the walls, ripple, marks from ancient lava flows, folded pressure lines, subtle fault patterns, dream-soft echoes of buried mountain chains. Your breath deepens without you choosing it. The REM drift thickens around your awareness like warm smoke drifting in gentle spirals. The chamber begins a slow, almost imperceptible rotation. Not the stone itself, but the light within it, drifting laterally in long arcs that mimic the micro-movements of REM. The geode responds to your nearness by opening just a little wider, not physically, but visually, as though its interior expands through the dream's dimension rather than through space. Inside, you see something shimmering, deeper, a narrow passage carved from crystal, glowing with soft white-blue light. A crystalline corridor, a gateway carved not from pressure or sediment, but from pure mineral memory. It beckons with a softness that feels like a hand resting lightly against the small of your back. You sense no urgency, only welcome, only the invitation to drift deeper into the Earth's dreaming, where minerals store the universe's earliest echoes, and the stone remembers the color of time. You step without stepping toward the crystalline corridor, feeling the ancient glow gather around your ankles, like warm mist rising gently to carry you forward. Deeper still into the oldest chamber the earth has ever held. The crystalline corridor receives you like a breath inside. A breath, a softer world nestled within the already softened dream. Its walls are made of mineral light, translucent and faintly iridescent, as though the earth took a fragment of starlight and folded it into stone. The surfaces are faceted, but never sharp. Every edge is rounded by the logic of sleep, turned from hard angles into gentle slopes where light can drift without ever cutting the dark. Beneath your feet, the floor glows with a muted silver hum. Thin, crystalline lines run along it in branching patterns, like frost on glass or nerves in a sleeping body. They pulse in slow waves that move just ahead of you, as if the corridor is anticipating your drift and lighting your way a moment before you arrive. The pattern is hypnotic, a sequence of micro accelerations and pauses that coaxes your awareness deeper into the REM current. The air in the corridor is cool, but not in the way of cold stone. It has the clarity of water that has filtered through rock for a very long time. Each breath feels sifted and softened before it reaches you. There is the faintest suggestion of a scent, clean and quiet, like rainwater that has slept inside a quartz vein and is waking now only as memory. As you move forward, the walls begin to shift in tone. At first, they are clear and pale like ice touched by starlight. Then, faint bands of color emerge from within the crystal, soft violets, smoky blues, honeyed ambers. They drift in slow vertical streams, flowing upward and downward at once like waterfalls that have decided to move in both directions through time. The movement is gentle soothing, just strange enough to remind your brain that it is dreaming, but never so strange that it stirs concern. Tiny flecks of light float within the walls, moving as though drawn along invisible currents. They resemble distant galaxies or plankton suspended in a glowing ocean, or dust motes in a high windows beam. They change scale every time you look at them, and yet each version feels natural. Your mind accepts the shifting without effort, and in that acceptance, the last residual tension begins to melt. The corridor widens almost imperceptibly. Ahead, the crystalline walls peel back into a vaulted chamber shaped like the inside of a geode, large enough to cradle a sleeping planet. Every surface shimmers with tiny crystal points, each one bending the ambient light into a soft halo. No single point is bright, but together they create a field of glow that feels like being held inside a slow, breathing constellation. The center of the chamber is not empty. Rising from the floor is a circular platform of darker stone, smooth and low, like an island in an ocean of crystal light. Around its edge, the crystals on the walls curve inward in gentle arcs, as if bowing. It feels like a place the earth set aside to remember something important, something it wanted to keep very quiet and very safe. You drift onto the platform. The hum in the air deepens by one subtle shade. It is still soft, still distant, but now it feels more focused, as if the sound has turned its attention toward you. A faint vibration rises through the stone, meeting the soles of your not-quite feet, then traveling upward in a slow, spiraling motion. It curls around your legs, your spine, like a staircase made of feeling rather than matter. In response, the chamber shifts. The crystals dim slightly at the edges and brighten nearer the center, drawing your gaze inward. On the surface of the platform, faint lines appear circles within circles, traced not by carvings, but by gentle changes in luminescence. Each ring pulses in its own rhythm, some faster, some slower, like overlapping orbits of invisible moons. Together, they form a pattern that encourages your breath to settle into a deeper, steadier cadence. You begin to sense what this place is. Not a vault for objects, a vault for impressions, a memory chamber where the earth has stored feelings rather than events. The feeling of pressure building and releasing, heat rising and cooling, fractures healing under slow mineral growth. Here, stone remembers not just what happened, but what it felt like to endure and transform without breaking. The crystals respond to this realization by brightening in soft waves that move outward from the center. With each wave, faint images flicker between the facets, not full scenes, but echoes shaped into light. You see the suggestion of collapsing mountain roots not as destruction, but as relief. You sense the easing of strain as rock reshapes itself to accommodate the forces within and around it. A warmth gathers at the center of your chest, mirroring the warmth that appears now at the heart of the platform. A small, glowing sphere rises from the stone, a droplet of condensed light. It hovers at the level of your heart, spinning slowly, shedding tiny motes that drift away like seeds of brightness, then dissolve before they land. Inside the sphere, layers swirl. They move like miniature strata, folding and unfolding, rising and sinking, without violence. Pressure is not an enemy here. It is a sculptor, and the stone is not a victim. It is a participant in its own transformation. You realize that the Earth's diary, written in stone, is not only a record of what has been. It is a testament to the way change can be survivable, even beautiful, when enough time and space are granted. The rock does not hurry. It does not demand instant resolution. It allows forces to act upon it for as long as they must, trusting that something coherent will emerge. The sphere drifts a little closer. You feel its presence as a subtle warmth across your face, like light filtered through closed eyelids. It does not ask anything of you. It merely shares its state. Inside its slow-turning layers, you sense an invitation to let your own pressures and unresolved stories be treated with the same patience that mountains receive. To allow them to settle into layers instead of demands, into strata instead of storms. For a heartbeat, or maybe an eternity, your inner world and the stone's memory align. Your experiences become like sediment, like mineral deposits, like bands of color in a cliff face. Some heavy, some light, all resting in order. Nothing erased, nothing forced. Just given a place. The crystals glow in unison, now quietly affirming this alignment. The vibration in the floor softens, stretching into a steady hum that fades toward the edge of perception, leaving behind only comfort. Slowly, the sphere of light begins to rise. It drifts upward toward the ceiling of the chamber, leaving a faint, trailing spiral behind it. As it ascends, the crystals dim again, returning to their earlier scattered glints. The platform beneath you warms just enough to remind you that you are still being held gently anchored in this dream of stone and time. High above the sphere finds a point in the crystalline vault and dissolves into it as though returning to its source. Where it disappears, a small opening of soft darkness appears, a round portal framed by luminous facets. It looks like the pupil of an eye made of crystal, gazing not at you, but beyond you, into a deeper region of the Earth's memory. From that opening, a slow draft of warmer air descends, carrying with it the impression of caverns, yet unseen, of underground rivers, of hidden ceilings painted with star fields no surface sky has ever known. The dream tilts gently in that direction, and you feel yourself ready to follow. The warm draft from the crystalline opening above you deepens, flowing down like a descending veil of breath. It doesn't push, it invites. Its temperature is the exact softness of stone that has held warmth for hours and is now releasing it slowly into the night. You tilt toward it without meaning to the dream's gravity, guiding you upward in a slow, steady drift. The platform beneath you loosens its gentle hold, and the chamber recedes under a dissolving shimmer, like a memory being put back in its place with care. As you rise, the opening expands, not by widening, but by thinning the boundary between here and the next layer, until the crystalline frame becomes nothing but a soft halo of faint color. You pass through it effortlessly. For a moment, everything darkens in a comforting way, the kind of darkness that wraps itself around you like a thick blanket, warm and steady. Then the world brightens, not sharply, like dawn appearing under a deep ocean. A new cavern materializes around you. Vast but muted, carved, not of crystal or basalt, but something older, something that feels like the earth's private handwriting. The walls are made of smooth limestone, curved and flowing like frozen waves. The surfaces glow with milky radiance, as though the stone is illuminated from within by the memory of ancient seas. Tiny droplets of light float in the air. Not water, but the dream's echo of it. They drift like glowing dew suspended in slow motion fall, each droplet softly pulsing, carrying the faintest suggestion of sound, like distant echoes of drip, 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 but softened into a hush so gentle it feels like silence being warmed from the inside. Beneath you, the floor tilts downward into a sloping descent, carved out by currents that no longer exist. The surface feels smooth, like polished bone, but faint patterns ripple through it, etchings left by water that shaped the stone while learning the contours of the young cavern. The patterns form pathways, branching like capillaries, then braiding together again, creating a natural choreography that guides your gaze deeper into the descent. You follow, drifting. A soft breeze rises from below, brushing your cheek with the tactile memory of underground rivers, their coolness, their steady patience, the way they carve the darkness with nothing but persistence. As you descend, the walls shift in texture. Limestone transitions into darker, denser dolomite. The glow in the stone deepens from white to pearl to a faint violet, as though the cavern is taking you deeper, not just in space, but in time. The deeper walls hold faint shadows, like remnants of coral skeletons and ancient shells pressed into the stone millions of years ago. But the dream renders them soft and abstract, more like impressions of gestures than fossils, memories of life without the sharpness of detail. A low, distant hum begins to rise from the depths, soft, steady, a frequency that resonates more in your bones than in your ears. The hum doesn't speak of danger, it speaks of movement, slow, patient, subterranean movement. The shifting of underground rivers, the settling of deep sediment, the quiet erosion of old chambers expanding themselves, grain by grain. You round a soft curve, and the cavern opens into a breathtaking space. It is enormous, a cathedral of stone, but one shaped by water instead of hands. Stalactites hang from the vaulted ceiling like long, tapered candles carved from ancient moonlight. They glow from within each one, holding a faint, slow pulse like the heartbeat of minerals dreaming. Stalagmites rise from the cavern floor, wide at the base, narrowing toward elegant tips, some joining with the stalactites above to form thick columns that twist gently, as if they were growing toward each other for thousands of years. Between the formations, faint ribbons of mist curl along the ground, glowing in pale gold that shifts to soft blue as they drift. They rise in spirals, those familiar dream spirals, slow rising, dissolving, rising again. You drift deeper into the chamber, surrounded by the soft symphony of mineral breath. The floor is slightly uneven now, dotted with shallow pools of still water. Their surfaces are so perfectly calm, they reflect the glowing stalactites like mirrors, creating the illusion of a second cathedral beneath you. When a droplet of glowing mist touches the water, the reflection ripples in slow waves that spread wider than physics would allow softening, fading, becoming part of the chamber's breathing rhythm. The hum grows fuller, not louder fuller. You feel the vibration collect at the center of your chest again, sinking with your breath until the boundary between sound and inhale dissolves into one long exhale through time. The chamber pulses in response, the light in the stalactites brightening for a breath, then dimming again. You move toward the deepest part of the cavern. There, nestled between the tallest mineral columns, lies a subterranean lake. Its surface is dark and flawless, a mirror of pure stillness. But beneath the surface, faint glimmers move as though the water is remembering light from worlds above sunlight that touched oceans long before continents formed moonlight that danced on tides that are now buried under miles of stone. You drift closer to the lake's edge. The air cools by one subtle degree. The mist thickens in soft coils. The hum deepens, wrapping around your awareness like a warm cloak. Then, from the lake's center, a glow rises, not bright, just present. A soft orb of pale cyan ascends through the water, slowly, gracefully. It brings with it a trail of shimmering ripples, ripples that illuminate tiny crystals embedded in the lake bed, lighting them in cascading patterns that resemble constellations being born in reverse. The orb breaks the surface. It hovers an inch above the water, dripping glimmers that fall and vanish before they land like memories evaporating into the dream. Inside the orb, movement begins. Swirls of light twist inward. They spiral deeper, forming shapes. Not life, not creatures. Patterns, geological memories. From before the earth cooled enough for oceans encoded in light, the spinning of molten metal, the rise of the early mantle plumes, the collapse of primordial basins, the first whisper of gravity anchoring continents. The orb draws closer. Its glow paints your hands, your face, your breath in soft cyan and pale silver. It is warm, but with an undertone of coolness, like holding a sunbeam that remembers the ocean. Your thoughts smooth out. Your inner voice quiets. The orb waits, not asking, not urging, only offering its soft spiral as a guide. Above it, a new passage reveals itself. A narrow, perfectly round opening in the cavern wall, framed by glowing rings of calcite that pulse in REM-like drift. The orb tilts toward the opening, and you follow, deeper, quieter, toward the hidden heartbeat of the earth. The orb guides you with the gentleness of a hand placed lightly between your shoulder blades, offering direction without pressure. It moves toward the round opening in the cavern wall at a steady, dream-perfect pace, slow enough to anchor your breath, soft enough to blur all sense of effort. As you follow, the underground cathedral fades behind you in a hush of dimming stalactite glow, like a great stone choir bowing its heads in silence. The opening is not large. It feels deliberately sized, as though crafted for transition rather than grandeur. Its smooth circular frame glows in faint amber rings, each one pulsing with a rhythm that echoes the earliest beats of REM drift. When the orb passes through its cyan light, blends with the amber loops, creating a soft hue that shifts with every breath you take. You drift into the opening. The world narrows. A tunnel unfolds perfectly, round like the interior of a giant geological artery. The walls appear carved not by erosion, but by time, flowing through substance, layering the stone in subtle spirals. Every inch of the tunnel glows with a soft, grainy luminescence. It is not light that wants to show you things. It is light that wants to keep you company. Textures whisper against the edges of your attention. Tiny mineral grains embedded in the smooth stone, soft seams of darker material, brushing your peripheral senses, like pages of an old book, flipping themselves open. There is nothing sharp here. Everything has been softened by epochs of pressure heat and patience. The orb stays ahead of you, never far. When it pulses, the tunnel breathes. When it drifts, the pulse in the stone follows. You sense something shifting beneath your feet, an almost imagined sturdiness, as if the ground is remembering the time when the Earth's crust thickened into stability. The dream does not tell the story. It lets you feel the story, the gentle anchoring, the subtle settling, the way stone becomes foundation. As you drift deeper, the tunnel widens, not abruptly, but like lungs expanding. The air grows warmer, by the faintest degree, filled with the quiet scent memory of mineral dust and ancient groundwater. A low, soft vibration moves through the walls, a hum so deep it feels like it originates somewhere beneath awareness. It's the memory of magma, not a blaze, not destruction, a warmth that rises from the Earth's inner breath, slow and steady, guiding geological lifetimes with patient force. The orb descends slightly. You follow. The tunnel curves downward in a shallow spiral, pulling you deeper into a realm where light carries temperature and stone carries sound. As you round the curve, the glow ahead intensifies, still soft, still safe, but warmer, like the inside of an ember that has forgotten how to burn. You enter a new chamber. It takes shape slowly, like a dream, assembling itself around your presence. The walls here are dark, deep, earthy browns and muted obsidians striped with bands of red and orange that glow from within. This is Mantle memory, rock touched by heat that sculpted continents, but seen now only through softened dream filters that remove all danger and leave only warmth, motion, and time. The chamber pulses in long waves. Light expands along the walls, then retracts. Heat swells a fraction, then calms. It feels like standing inside the Earth's heartbeat. At the center of the chamber rises a great vertical pillar of dark stone, smooth, tall, glowing along its edges with a molten gold shimmer. It looks like a single piece of mantle rock lifted into the dream, its surface drifting with faint patterns that resemble convection currents slowed into something gentle and hypnotic. The orb hovers near the pillar. Its cyan glow blends with the pillar's gold, creating a soft green halo around the base. You drift closer. As you near the pillar, something subtle shifts in your body, a loosening deep in the ribs, a softening behind your eyes, a sense of your inner world being quietly rearranged into something steadier. The pillar seems to radiate stability, not rigidity, but the calm endurance of rock that has held the world together from below. You raise your awareness toward the pillar's surface. Images begin to form slow arcs of light drifting across the stone. Subcrustal flows, mantle plumes rising with ancient patience. Continental plates carried like rafts on glowing tides. The first lines of future mountains written in heat. The movements are slow enough to feel like breath, each shift creating a warm exhale across your hands and face. You're not watching geology. You're watching the earth remember its own becoming. A faint, warm, tactile sensation grazes the inside of your palms. It feels like the memory of touching sunlight-warmed rock during a long-ago afternoon. But here, the warmth isn't from the sun, it's from time, from pressure, from the deep places beneath the surface where rock flows like thick honey. The orb glides along the pillar, rising toward its top. As it ascends, the chamber shifts with it, light traveling upward in cascading waves, the darkness below softening into gentler shade, the warmth drifting in slow spirals. At the chamber's peak, just above the pillar, a new aperture forms. It begins as a pinpoint of white-blue glow, then widens into a circular opening suspended in the dark stone ceiling. Around its rim, mineral crystals unfurl like petals, growing outward in slow dream motion, each crystal pulsing with soft, prismatic shimmer. The aperture breathes, light expands, light softens, the orb drifts toward it. You follow. The pillar sends a final wave of warmth through the chamber, a farewell exhale of ancient stability, and the glow beneath you dims into a peaceful, steady undercurrent. You ascend toward the aperture. Beyond it lies an even older memory, not of stone becoming planet, but of planet becoming world, a deeper dream waiting to open. The aperture above you widens with the slow grace of something that has existed far longer than the idea of speed. Its white-blue rim breathes in soft pulses, each exhale loosening the edges of the dream, each inhale drawing you upward with a quiet gravity. The orb passes through, first trailing a thin ribbon of cyan that dissolves into the aperture's glow. When you follow, the transition feels like moving through warm mist. No impact, no threshold, only a gentle shift in pressure, like stepping deeper into your own breath. For a moment, darkness enfolds you, not empty. Darkness, warm, velvety, textured like ancient air wrapped in memory. Then light blooms around you, faint at first, then fuller, filling the space the way dawn fills a quiet valley. You find yourself drifting into an enormous chamber of stone, round-domed, silent lit, entirely by bioluminescent minerals embedded in the walls and ceiling. They glow in pale gold, soft blue, muted teal, and dusty rose, forming enormous, swirling patterns that resemble the earliest weather systems on a newborn world. This place feels different from all the chambers before. Older, deeper, not in depth beneath the surface, but in depth within time. Like the earth is showing you a memory from before it had continents, before it had oceans, before stone had fully learned what it meant to be stone. The floor beneath you glows with smooth gradients of color, lighter near the edges, darker toward the center, where the stone dips into a wide, shallow basin. From above, it must look like the interior of an eye. From within, it feels like the center of a pulse. The orb pauses at the basin's edge. You drift beside it. The basin is filled not with water, but with something that moves like water in the dream. Thick, glowing slow. A luminous, mineral slurry, swirling in patterns that fold into themselves again and again, like a cosmic fingerprint. The colors, molten, amber, cool silver, deep violet, shift with each slow spiral. This is the memory of the earth before solid crust, the memory of a world dreaming itself into form. The slurry glows brighter, rising slightly, and for a moment, the chamber hums with deep resonance, so low you feel it more than hear it. The hum vibrates through the basin, up through the walls, and into your body. It doesn't jolt, it settles. It wraps around your breathing, encouraging it to slow, deepen, steady. The orb drifts downward, hovering just above the swirling surface. As it does, tiny filaments of light rise from the slurry, reaching toward it, like mineral threads drawn toward warmth. They touch the orb, dissolve, and are replaced by new ones. Each contact releases a flash of soft, golden glow that illuminates the chamber in warm waves. Then something begins to change. The spirals in the basin shift rhythm. What was slow becomes slower. What was soft becomes softer. What drifted outward now drifts inward. The entire basin begins to turn, not physically, but in a way that gives the unmistakable sensation of rotation. As if the chamber is letting you feel the Earth's earliest spin, the slow gathering of rotational identity, the shaping of a day before day existed. The walls respond, their mineral glows brightening along the spiraling patterns. Those ancient swirls, blue, gold, rose, teal, begin to move. Not quickly, not chaotically. They drift like enormous, time-laden storms spiraling in sync with the basin, as though the planet's first whispers of atmosphere were being reenacted in soft mineral breath. Your thoughts grow feather-light. The drift of your awareness now mirrors the spirals, round and soft, with no edges. You feel yourself slipping deeper into a dream within a dream, the REM layering, thickening into something warm and continuous. The orb rises from the basin. Its glow has changed, no longer purely cyan, but flecked with gold and violet from the swirling mineral pool. It feels heavier, denser, as though it has absorbed some of the ancient memory and now carries it like light. The orb drifts toward the far side of the chamber, and as you follow, you notice a vertical split in the domed wall. A tall, narrow opening shaped like two layers of stone pressed together until they decided to part. Faint light seeps from the gap, flickering in warm amber waves. Another threshold, another descent into deeper time. As you approach, the split widens barely, just enough to reveal the pathway inside a long, descending ramp carved from ultramafic stone, dark and shimmering, almost green-black. The rock is rich, dense, forged in the Earth's earliest magma seas. It glows from within, like a sleeping ember. The ramp is lined with tiny points of light, vesicles in the rock filled with glowing mineral dust. They guide the way downward, like stars pressed into stone, each one pulsing with its own quiet rhythm. You drift into the ramp's gentle slope. The ceiling curves low, forming a tunnel whose shape feels intentional, as if designed to make your breath deepen in slow arcs. The stone radiates warmth, but not uniformly. Every few moments, a slightly cooler current brushes your skin, the way underground air moves through narrow passages, remembering the temperature of deeper layers. You continue downward. The air grows thicker, but never heavy, rich with the memory of the Earth's deep mantle, breathing upward toward the new crust. The tunnel walls become more textured, their surfaces etched with flow patterns, frozen mid-motion, like the skin of molten rock, cooled in a dream. At the base of the ramp, the tunnel opens into a chamber unlike any before. It is dark, utterly, but not empty. The darkness is full alive with faint, velvety warmth. When you inhale, the silence fills your lungs like a soft, mineral fog. When you exhale, the chamber seems to breathe with you. Then softly, a single point of red-gold light appears in the center. It is small, at first no larger than a pebble. It brightens slowly, calmly, revealing the outlines of something vast, a structure, a sphere, a dream-rendered memory of the Earth's molten heart. The core, not literal, symbolic, a warm, glowing representation of planetary pulse. The sphere brightens by degrees, slow enough to soothe, warm enough to anchor. Its surface moves in ripples of deep gold and ember-red patterns that rise, fold, and sink like slow breath. As it brightens, the chamber walls reveal their shape, smooth, curved, perfectly, round, like the inside of a colossal shell. The walls glow in faint reflections, their colors shifting with the sphere's warmth. You drift closer. The sphere's glow reaches your face, first gentle, womb-like warmth that settles into your skin and then into your mind. Your thoughts dissolve into soft spirals. Your breath slows into long, drowsy arcs. The REM density thickens into a blanket around your awareness. Inside the sphere, something begins to form. Slow shapes, faint flows, not molten metal, not literal core dynamics, but the Earth's emotional memory of stability. Heat as comfort, pressure as guidance, gravity as embrace. You sense that this chamber is the Earth's quiet confession. Even the deepest heat can be gentle. Even the strongest forces can steady rather than break. Even the core holds softness if you drift far enough inward. The orb waits near the sphere. Its glow pulses once, then dims. You understand. There is one more layer, a dream, hidden beneath the core, a memory older than heat, and the sphere, sensing your readiness, begins to open. A thin vertical slit appears in its surface, glowing white at the edges, expanding with infinite softness, a final passageway into the deepest dream of the Earth. The chamber holds its breath around you, and you drift toward the opening. You drift toward the opening in the core, as if being drawn into the quietest secret the planet has ever kept. The glowing slit widens without sound, its edges soft and white gold, like a line of dawn pulled gently through the center of a star. There is no rush, no pull that tugs too hard, only an invitation, as if the Earth is saying, "Come, see what I have remembered beneath everything else." You pass through. Warmth folds around you, deep but never overwhelming, like sinking into a perfectly tempered bath, prepared just for your tired body. For a moment, there is nothing to see, only a sense of drifting through light that has forgotten the need for surfaces. Up and down lose meaning. Left and right soften. Even the idea of direction becomes unimportant, like a word repeated so many times it becomes sound instead of thought. Then slowly, a new space reveals itself. It isn't a chamber of rock. It isn't a cavern, a corridor, a vault. It feels more like the inside of a memory itself. Soft gradients of color float in all directions. Warm umbers, muted golds, deep blues, distant violets. They move so gently, they almost don't move at all, drifting in slow inward spirals that never quite arrive at a center and never quite leave it. The sensation is of being inside the pause between heartbeats, inside the breath the earth took before it became what you know. The ground, if that's what it is a barely perceptible firmness beneath you, like standing on the skin of a thought. It shifts with you, always supportive, never unstable. Each subtle adjustment under your feet arrives just before you need it, as if the space is listening to your weight and answering with care. There is no visible stone here, and yet you feel stone everywhere, not as cliffs or pillars or layers, but as presence, the presence of something that has watched stars appear and vanish, oceans rise and fall, forests bloom and burn and bloom again. The presence of something that has carried continents, cradled rivers, held fossils, meteorites, soil, and cities, and now in this dream is holding the quiet outline of you. A soft vibration rises, not from below, not from above, from all around. It is the gentlest resonance you have felt so far, more like a memory of sound than sound itself. It glides through you like a low, comforting note hummed by someone sitting beside your bed, making sure you know you are not alone in the dark. Shapes begin to appear at the edges of your perception, not images, not scenes, impressions. You sense the first minerals condensing out of cooling clouds, the first crystals forming in microscopic spaces, the first fractures opening to make room for movement. None of it is sharp or literal. The dream shows you only what your resting mind can easily hold: swirling colors, soft pulses, slow expansions and contractions, like a universe practicing how to breathe. In that breathing, you realize something quietly beautiful. The Earth's memory is not just stored in stone. You standing here, drifting here, wandering here, you are part of that memory now. Your footsteps on sidewalks, your hand on a windowsill, the way you once picked up a small rock on some forgotten afternoon and turned it over in your fingers as if trying to read it, without knowing how that too has been written down in silence. The stone you touched did not forget you. It simply folded the moment into the long, layered diary it has always been keeping. Around you, the colors deepen, warm amber curls, closer, like a shawl of light. Deep blue settles overhead, calm and wide. A thin band of soft green appears at the horizon of this shapeless place, the color of moss of forests of life, finding footholds on rock that used to be nothing but fire. You understand, without needing words, that this is the earth remembering possibility. The possibility of oceans and rain and rivers, the possibility of leaves and feathers and hands, The possibility of someone, one day, lying awake at night, feeling small and tired, listening to a voice talk about stone, and slowly realizing they are not separate from any of it. The vibration around you shifts just a little. What was a hum becomes more like a slow heartbeat, steady and soft. It doesn't belong only to the planet now. It belongs to you as well. Your pulse, the Earth's pulse, folding together in this shared liminal place where dreams and geology meet. Tiny sparks of light appear in the air, scattered like a loose constellation. Each spark drifts closer, then pauses just at the edge of your reach. If you had to name them, you might call them memory seeds. Not of facts or dates or names, but of feelings the earth has carried for eons: endurance, patience, quiet, strength, the ability to hold weight without losing softness. One of the sparks settles near your chest. You don't touch it. You don't need to. Its light expands gently, then sinks inward, disappearing into you without a trace of impact. All that remains is a long, slow exhale you didn't know you were holding, and an inner spaciousness you didn't realize could exist. The space around you begins to dim, not into emptiness, but into rest. The colors soften, drifting toward deep, warm shades of brown and gold, like candlelight behind closed eyes. The sensation of ground grows more definite beneath you, a quiet encouragement for your body to feel heavier, calmer, more willing to let go. Gravity returns, but not as force, as comfort. You sense the layers you've passed through tonight, arranging themselves behind you. The stone corridors, the crystal vaults, the stratified walls, the caverns and lakes and molten memories. They do not vanish when you stop looking at them. They simply settle back into their places the way your own days settle into you when night comes. You realize you can return to them whenever you need to, whenever your thoughts are loud, whenever your heart is tired, whenever you need to remember that you live on a world that has practiced surviving for billions of years and is very, very good at holding fragile things on its surface, even when those fragile things forget they are being held. The vibration fades to a faint echo. The space begins to tilt gently like a cradle. You feel yourself descending without moving, as though the dream is carrying you back up through the layers, while your mind continues drifting downward into deeper sleep. You pass again, softly, silently, by the molten pillar, the luminous basins, the mineral cathedrals, but they no longer ask for your attention. They are content to become background, like the steady darkness of a room where someone has made sure the door is closed, the lights are off, and the world is quiet enough for you to rest. The descent slows. Weight gathers in your limbs, in your chest, behind your eyes. Your thoughts thin to threads, then to mist. Stone, ocean, magma, crystal, fossil, mountain, cavern, core. Each word unwinds and dissolves, leaving behind only a feeling of being carried, of being kept, of being remembered by something vast and gentle beneath you. The last light in the dream narrows to a soft, warm point. It too spirals inward, not closing like a door, curling like a sleeping hand. The Earth's diary turns another page in silence, and tonight it adds one more line, a small, tired human, finally letting go, finally sleeping, finally remembering they are not alone on this ancient, patient world. The point of light fades, darkness softens around you, and the stone beneath all things keeps watch quietly while you rest.